Is Nebraska back? At least back enough to win the Big Ten West. Next on Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. We are talking Scott Frost and the Black Shirts here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Please help us build the channel by doing your Amazon shopping using the link in the description section below. Also, join us on Patreon for 2 exclusive live streams every week at Mark Rogers TV, our college football, voice of college football community. You can join it right on Patreon, and you jump on the line with me. We discuss college football directly, and a forum with all of us talking college football, and also that's one exclusive live stream. The other one involves me responding to your viewer comments, so look out, and you better bring it. All right, Nebraska, number 9 in the Big Ten when it comes to schedule difficulty, is ranked by myself number 35 in college football. All right, 3 non-conference games to start the season. South Alabama at home, at Colorado, as the Huskers look to avenge the loss that they took at the hands of the Buffs in Lincoln in a very close affair last season, a game that went down to the wire. And then Northern Illinois, also a team that has defeated Nebraska in recent years, September 14th. So the non-conference slate is marginal. It's not bad. They take on an upper division team in the MAC, a team that is contended for championships, and I believe off the top of my head beat Buffalo to win the MAC championship last year. Colorado with a new head coach from Georgia, of course, and that game's going to be on the road after the South Alabama tilt on August 31st. All right, then they dive into Big Ten play. At Illinois, and then a 2-game stretch against Ohio State and Northwestern that may prove to be an interesting 2-game affair, since Northwestern won the Big Ten Western Division last year and would have lost to Nebraska as the Huskers outplayed them for about 55 minutes of game time last year, but the Wildcats came back inexplicably, down 2 scores in the final 5 minutes to beat Nebraska. The Huskers have the Wildcats at home after a big game against Ohio State on September 28th, and many people that are looking for that next Iowa or Purdue catastrophe for Ohio State see it happening in Lincoln on September 28th. Then Nebraska goes to Minnesota, where they take on the Gophers. They blasted Minnesota by 25 points last year, October 12th. Open date before Indiana and Purdue. Couple winnable games, of course, in late October, early November. Then the bye week to rest up for the stretch drive, the final 3 games of the season against Wisconsin, which may decide the Big Ten Western Division, at Maryland and Iowa. Sneaky, tough 3-game stretch to conclude the season for the Huskers. Wisconsin at Maryland, and then an Iowa Hawkeye team that Nebraska's last trip to Iowa City, they were blasted 56-14, but last year on the road, Nebraska almost pulled out the win against Iowa, a 31-28 affair. So the Hawkeyes and the Huskers, that could be another game that decides the Big Ten Western Division, and wouldn't that be great for Big Ten football on the final Friday of the season? Nebraska, what is key here, of course, is who you play in the other division, especially when that other division is possibly the toughest in college football. And for Nebraska, out of the East, they play Ohio State, Indiana, and Maryland. So not a very difficult draw, although they take on the toughest team and the most talented team in the Big Ten, Ohio State, at home at the end of September. The other 2 matchups include, of course, Indiana and Maryland. Therefore, Nebraska does not have to see Michigan, Michigan State, or Penn State. So it's a fairly easy run out of the Big Ten Eastern Division for Nebraska. It's the 9th most difficult schedule in the Big Ten. It's number 35 in college football, as ranked by me. And the Huskers, our spring projection is 8-4, 5-4 in the Big Ten. We will have our final prediction in August, but that's our projection right now. We want to hear from you and get your comments on Nebraska football, the schedule difficulty, and also your record for the Huskers and Scott Frost in year number 2 in Lincoln. All right, here at Mark Rogers TV, we'll be back with schedule number 34. In the meantime, like, comment, share, and subscribe right here at the Voice of College Football.